and today we're gonna read the new book and a new story called Magic Tree as Merlin Mission Book 21 Stallion by Starlight. And today we're gonna start reading at chapter 1 and the Ring of a Truth. And the end of reading at chapter 2. Now, already read this one book with a lot of stories, and now here we go. And first you can read is the Magic Tree as Merlin Mission Book 21 Stallion by Starlight, called Chapter 1 The Ring of Truth. I love looking at your notebook, Annie said. It helps me remember all of our adventures. She turned a few pages. Polar bears into Arctic. The cubs are so cute. And Pompeii and Volcano. Oh my gosh, remember Hercules? Yep, said Jack without looking up. It was a warm day in June. Jack and Annie were sitting at the front of a porch at their house. While Annie thumbed through his notebook, Jack was reading a book about giant pandas in China. Ooh, said Annie as she flipped through more pages. The ghost town in the Wild West. Is it invisible piano player, remember? Yep. Annie turned another page. Remember Australia, baby kangaroo, koala, and dingoes. The forest fire. Jack looked up. Yep, he said. Look, that's all cool, but I can't talk now. I'm trying to read the last page of my book. You're going to need a new notebook soon. This one is almost full. Annie closed the notebook and put it into Jack's backpack. She scratched. I think I will go for a bike ride, she said. Maybe stop by the library, go to the pool. Jack closed the book. Done, he said. Now I need something to read. I will ride the library with you. As he pulled on his backpack and Jack caught sight of something out of a corner of an eye, he turned, and what he saw was incredible. Small penguin was standing on the sidewalk in front of their house. Penny? Jack said. Oh, cried Annie. Oh, she dashed off the porch. Jack ran after Annie. They both knelt down beside a little penguin. What are you doing here? Annie asked. Jack picked up Penny, and he and Annie stroked Penguin's downy head. Hey, what's happened, Penny? He said. Why are you here? Peep. The tree house, said Annie. It must be back. Hey, guys. Jack and Annie Dad called from behind the screen door at their porch. Annie quickly jumped in front of Jack to hide a little penguin. What is it, Dad? She said. I made some fresh lemonade, their dad says. Thanks, said Annie. Well, have some as soon as we come back. We are heading for woods for a few minutes, said Jack. Okay, it will be free, their dad said. Thanks, said Jack. See you later. Let's go, said Annie, holding Penny in his arms, and Jack hurried with Annie down the sidewalk. Did you come here with Teddy and Kathleen? He asked the penguin. Peep. Is that a yes or no? Asked Jack. Peep. Yes, Jeff said. No, said Annie at the same time. I guess we'll soon find out, said Jack. Jack and Annie crossed the quiet street and headed into Frog Creek Woods. As they hurried through the dilapidated light, the air had smelled of summer. Squirrels scurried up the trees, and crows called on other. When Jack and Annie came to the tallest oak, they stopped, and the tree was nested into the branches. Near the top, a long rope ladder dangled to the ground. Teddy, Kathleen, shouted Annie. there is no answer. Peep, so you came here all by yourself? Said Jack to Penny. Something is wrong in Camelot. Are Teddy and Kathleen okay? What about Morgan and Merlin? Let's go, said Annie. She started the rope ladder, still holding the little penguin. Jack awkwardly climbed after her. Oh, wow, said Annie when she reached the treehouse. Oh, what? said Jack. He hosed Penny into the treehouse, climbed after her. And he also whispered, oh, wow. The old woman in long white beard had pointed to the covered stars, and a red clock stood into the shadowy corner. Merlin, breathed Penny. I see Penny found you. Master Magician of Camelot, said in the barefoot voice. The little penguin read Merlin stood beside him. Yes, said Jack. She came right up to our house. Is something wrong in Camelot? Asked Annie. No, all is fine, said Merlin. Your friends are well. I just decided I want to visit you myself. Cool, said Jack shyly. And Merlin have never come to the froggery all by himself. Let me tell you what is on my mind, said Merlin. I've been thinking very deep thoughts, pondering questions that the wise men of a moment have pondered through the ages. Pondering, said Annie. Ponder means to think carefully about subject, said Jack. Right? Said he asked Merlin. Actually, exactly, said Merlin. I have been pondering questions about life. For instance, I have been wondering about an idea of greatness. What are the secrets of greatness? What makes a person truly great? That is a good question, said Jack. I cannot answer it by myself, as I do not given your word the word as a time to the mortar, said Merlin. So when each of you next to 4 missions, you will meet someone who help you learn a true secret of greatness. That sounds fun, said Annie. I hope it will be, said Merlin. To begin, how would you like to meet someone like Alexander the Great? Oh man, I've heard of him, said Jack. I haven't, said Annie. But he sounds, well, great. Merlin smiles. Can I ask a question? Said Jack. Of course, said Merlin. To be practical, how will we know when we found the secret of greatness? Jack asked. I ponder that as well, said Merlin. I have brought something magical to help you. The magician had reached to his clock and pulled out a small gold ring. This is I call this a ring of truth. The ring of truth? Annie replied. I have a cast of a spell on the ring, said Merlin. True secret of greatness. The ring will grow. May I wear it? Said Annie. Annie asked Merlin. He nodded, and Annie held out her hand, and the magician slipped a gold band out of a finger. I brought another bit of a magic as well, said Merlin. He reached into his clock again, and as the time he reached into his clock again as mist swirled inside, and the mist have gathered a first light of a day of a moon into the azure heaven, said Merlin. Wow, said Annie. As the magical mist will allow to experience greatness yourself, said Merlin. And when you need help, make a wish to the enchanted talent, and the breath of a sense of a mist, and for an hour of a talent will be yours, and the magic will work only once on this journey. Thanks, said Jack. He took a little bottle from Merlin and put it back to his backpack. And finally, Morgan asked me to give you a research book. The magician reached into his clock for a third time and pulled out a book. Ancient Medic Donut. I've never heard about Medic Donut, said Jack. This is a kingdom that Alexander was born. Said Merlin, the ancient Medicodons are fairies and warlike, a traveler cursely. Fairies? Warlike? Jack wanted to hear more. Merlin picked Penny up a race to his hand. Farewell, go now, he said. Good luck. Bye, Merlin. Bye, Penny, said Annie. Wait, began Jack. But before Jack could answer another question, Merlin and Penny vanished. Let's go, said Annie. She pointed at the cover of the book. I wish I could go there, she said. The wind started to blow. The tree started to spin. It spun faster and faster, and everything was still. Absolutely still. Now Jack and Annie were gonna go to the ancient Medicona and then meet the Alexander the Great. Now it's chapter 2. Keep walking. Tomorrow we're gonna start reading in chapter 2. Keep walking, and Diana reading in chapter 3. Now, did you have fun? You lost English country. We come back with some this book, but not this story, because we're gonna have a new chapter 3. Now, please thumbs up my YouTube if you didn't thumbs up my YouTube before you look at my YouTube. So, bye-bye, everybody, and have a nice day. Bye!